Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thank you for watching us. My name is Rich Tehrani, coming to you from IT Expo West 2010 at the Los Angeles Convention Center. On our program today is Eric Hernaez, who's the CEO of Netmobo. Eric, how are you?
I'm great, thanks, Rich.
So you were on our program, I think, about 3 months ago or so, and you want to go over what's been happening at your company? Well, give us the overview one more time, just for those people who haven't seen the last video.
Sure. Well, the last time, which I believe was in August, we were still in stealth mode, getting ready to launch our product. And our product is a back office for app developers so that they can manage their apps across multiple app ecosystems. What we do is, today, if you have an app that's selling well on, say, iTunes, you kind of rely on iTunes tools to help you sell your app. If you want to sell it on the Android market or one of the other third-party markets, well, obviously you can't take those tools along with you to the other markets. So we have a sort of a completely neutral tool set that you can use to sell your apps on every market, and we give a lot of helpful SDKs and sample apps to really get app developers going.
So I'm developing now to a third-party set of APIs that will take my application and allow that application to run on multiple ecosystems. Is that?
It's not. Yeah. Well, we have APIs, and the idea is you develop once to our API, and then we sort of serve as a layer between you and all the App Store ecosystems, so that you don't have to necessarily develop to 10 APIs if you're going to do business with 10 different app stores.
And then you said on the back end you assist with developers to get their applications on these different stores as well?
Well, we assist in getting them to market in the sense that they can develop their application more quickly using our tools. We'd love to help get them into the stores, but that ranges from very hard with some of the app stores to very easy. You just upload it with others.
Understood. So in terms of the different platforms, what are some of those today that you're working on?
Well, of course, the most well-known ones, and really the two ones that matter the most today are iTunes and the Android market. And it's still an iTunes world in the sense that it has the lion's share of the monetization opportunities. So most of the apps that are being sold today are sold through iTunes, but it's slowly changing. Android is picking up more and more subscribers every day. I'm sure you've heard the news.
Sure.
And then the third-party app stores, are sort of niche players right now, each specializing in specific areas. GetJar is a big one. Of course, there's the BlackBerry market, and Symbian has Ovi. But there are literally, I just saw a list last week that said there were 390 app stores, currently in operation today. So that's quite a bit. And for a developer to actually have to find a way to manage the relationship with each app store and the users of each app store on a one-off basis, it would be almost impossible. But to use a centralized platform that gives them access to all those just means going to the next one is really no big deal.
And have we heard anything about Microsoft Phone 7?
Well, personally, from the developers I speak to, not really, except that it's something an unknown that's out there. Obviously, I hope it takes off. What have you heard? Anything good?
Well, it's early. I think it's interesting what they've done with the interface. The last time I saw it was maybe 2-3 months ago, and I liked the home screen was kind of interesting because it was live, and there was actual the different icons. I forget what they're called, but they move and things happen within them, and so you could see your social media status changing, weather status changing, things like that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and there's going to be pretty strong connectivity with Xbox so that you can play games on the phone, and the games will sync between the phone and the device at home.
That's definitely very cool. What strikes me as the critical piece to app stores, and including Microsoft, is you really need both sides. You have to have a cool phone that people want to hold in their hands, but you also have to attract developers to make cool new applications, because a lot of the reasons people use these phones are for the applications that they can get. So it helps, obviously, that Microsoft has its own storehouse of applications.
Sure.
I guess the question is whether or not that will be enough to overcome, the hundreds of thousands of applications that you can get in other stores. and what Microsoft does to try and get those developers into their stable,
Sure.
so to speak.
Well, it's interesting that Google has done some innovative things with its phone. In the beginning, it added turn-by-turn GPS built into the platform based upon data that they collected. I mean, in some cases with tricycles and snowmobiles going around the world and collecting information to give its platform a leg up. Microsoft can do similar things with Office, can do similar things with email, Outlook, etc. It can leverage its tremendous database of just development tools and software applications and things like that to make that phone better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what's key though is giving developers sort of a free hand to innovate and do
Sure.
cool things. But that seems to be the trend. I don't know if I'm sure you caught the news of Verizon at Verizon's developer conference a couple weeks ago. They announced a whole slew of their own APIs to make they're actually giving the software developers access to the core parts of their network, and that would be their differentiator. So if you develop an app for a Verizon phone, and you can get access to these things. One is network-based GPS, because the way most GPS works is it depends on the phone,
Sure.
positioning itself and then sending those coordinates to a server. In this case, the server has the coordinates, and so a third-party app can just query Netmobo, Verizon servers to get access to that, which I think is great. And the fact that they're also going to let the developers use those APIs, even if they're selling them in other stores, really sets them apart from the other mobile networks today. So there's a lot of interesting stuff, and that's great as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next for the company?
Well, we just launched last Thursday at Mobilize. And,
Congratulations.
yeah, thanks. And it was pretty harrowing. Auditorium full of 600 people, and we were judged, but we came in second as the audience choice in terms of the 10 companies that were presenting there. So we're now open for business. We transitioned from a private beta where we had just a few developers working on the system to an open beta where we're inviting all comers to test out the platform. And the other thing we announced at the time was one of our first private beta customers, a company called GridMob, did fantastic. They hadn't actually launched when we last met, but they subsequently launched and had more than 400,000 downloads in just a couple of weeks on the iTunes store. Phenomenal success. They did really great. And so we learned a lot about doing business.
And what do they do with that software?
It's actually a pretty cool app. It's for prank phone calls. And so what happens is the thing will change your voice, as you're speaking, so you can sound like a chipmunk or a cyborg, or they have several other ones. And you place a call, and it uses VoIP to make the call, to the PSTN. And so what they use us for is they use us to price the minutes, because depending on how you come into their platform, you get different package prices.
Oh, okay.
And then to basically do balance management. So if somebody gets 10 free minutes, we'll count the minutes and allow them to do the e-commerce part of it more easily.
And that was called, what was the software?
It's called Funny Call.
Funny Call,
And it's
okay.
available on iTunes.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks for being on the program, and we're looking forward to having you back soon.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Great to see
Thank
you.
you.